space.
There were times, and have been times, when I doubted myself. I thought this digging was never gonna end, but it is done. We have dug out a 96 by 96 cavern in the middle of a fucking mountain, underground, and we have dug canals and made spawning platforms. Wow. Okay, this took days. This took fucking forever. And if I was gonna do this again, I wouldn't. I would have made it half the size. But this is gonna be on YouTube. This is gonna be the mob grinder to end all mob grinders. And it is pretty sweet. Now, these spawn platforms are 14 by 14. I figured it was with the canals, I didn't want to make it say 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 because the more canals you have, the more water you have, and the more water you have, the less space for mobs to spawn because mobs can't spawn on water. So I made it 14 by 14. I think that's a nice trade-off because they spawn here, they don't have to walk very far to fall in. They fall in on all four sides. Pretty cool. These canal systems, I left some of them dry so I could show you guys how to fill them. I don't have it. I only have one bucket with me, so we'll do that in the next clip. And you can see Krezina, my buddy Krez, is above, and he's digging wiring catwalks, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this thing, holy fuck, took forever. It took so long, but it's gonna work and it's gonna be really, really sweet. Now, what's gonna happen? These mobs are gonna spawn on these platforms. They're gonna be like, herp derp 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 derp. Oh shit, I fell in. And there's gonna be water in here, like over here. And this water is going to carry them in the direction towards the center, and have these main canals that cut through. And you can see the trap down here. These water channels will carry them all the way to the trap, and they will fall in and they will be pieced out. In other words, die. And that's going to work really nicely. Since it's such a large area, we're going to have a lot of mobs spawning. I expect 100 at least in this room to spawn. Oh man, it's going to be sweet. But anyway, I'm trying to get this right because what we're doing is putting in recessed lighting. And recessed lighting shows less light to the ground, obviously. It's up 2 blocks. And you're saying, why the fuck are you doing that? It's a waste of time. Well, we have another very ambitious project going. Why is Krez digging catwalks above these? We're going to have pistons right here. And these pistons, right here. And these pistons are going to shove this block over here to turn these lights on and off, just like a light switch. So say one day I want to make modifications, or I want to expand it, or whatever. All I got to do is flip the light switch, which will open these little chambers here, and light the area, and the mobs will stop spawning. Now, one big issue with this, I'm going to need a lot of pistons. On my count, somewhere between 300 and 400 pistons, as well as probably several thousand blocks of redstone wiring above to get this to work. This is all going to be operated by a master control switch over there. So, you know, I'm worried at this point that it's simply impractical due to the sheer size of this, and it's something, and if I'm going to get it done at all, it won't be done for months. is probably something I will revisit or scrap entirely. I don't know. But I'm going to put the lighting in anyway, just in case I want to go ahead. Alright, got my water. Now, in this system we have two types of canals. One that runs, let's call this north-south. And from this side it will push you this way, and from the opposite wall there it will push you towards us until it reaches the center. And now these canals, call them east-west, they push you towards the center. This side pushes this way and the far opposite side pushes towards us. And you can't really screw that up though. I mean, the way you dug the canals, it should be very obvious which way they have to go. Just all you have to do is remember to go to the end and put water there, and then keep putting it until you reach the center. It's a little bit difficult to really visualize this. You know what? I will make a tutorial on making a much smaller version of this trap, maybe up on the surface for farm animals. Yeah, so you can visualize it a lot better. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to fill up these canals. For the basics, I want to do an episode on fluid dynamics, and that means how water moves and how lava moves, and how to control it and manipulate it, etc. But basically, water has a source block, and a source block is anything you can put into a bucket. Without a source block, water does not exist. Now, this is a source block. You can tell because it's completely flat. It doesn't have a downward slope. This is a source block, that's a flowing block, etc., 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 all the way down. Now, the source block will create flowing water 7 blocks away from it. So, you can make a water stream a total of 8 blocks. So, I did that for most of this. There's no sense wasting pressure plates, right? And the point of the pressure plates is twofold. One, in the case like here, I only have 6 blocks. It actually will stop the water because this wants to run another 2 blocks, but I don't want it to run into here or the currents get messed up. So the pressure plates will stop water, just like signs or ladders. You could also put signs or ladders on the side here. But I found that ladders, mobs tend to get a little bit stuck on them. So I didn't really like that design. In any case, this causes the same amount of delay as the other one. And secondly, it allows you to keep this whole canal system on one level. Because if I didn't have these pressure plates here, and I will demonstrate for dramatic effect. Watch what happens. Whoops. Now you got a problem. Because now they're going to fall in here and they're going to flow backwards and forwards in an infinite loop. That sucks. But when you have a plate there, they're going to fall in, say over here. They're going to flow downwards. They're going to stop here. But remember, mobs move around all the time. So just by virtue of random movement, because they really can't go this way, they're going to get pushed back. So eventually they're going to fall this way, and they're going to come here. And they're going to go here. And this is going to push them all the way to the center. Oh, lagged a bit. And sometimes it's hard to get out. I have to dig myself out. Come on. Okay, so first thing we need is our infinite pool of water. I showed you how to do that in a previous episode. But I'll do it again, because I need it. Where are the canals I want to fill? Right here. Okay, and I want to close these blocks up, because this has to be 2 high, because if it's 1 high, I can jump over it. Like that. And so can mobs. But they can't jump over 2, and neither can you. Now make an infinite pool of water. Oh, and you can put soul sand on the top here, like on this block from the nether to prevent spiders from climbing up, but it's a lot of soul sand, I'm not going to do that. Okay, infinite pool of water, 1 corner, 1 corner, done, infinite. Take as much as we want. Now, I'm going to put the pressure plates down. And if you don't know how to make them, 1, 1, that's it. Pressure plate, And now I want it to flow into this junction, and I want it to keep going. So one here and one here. That's really it to do that. Notice it flows actually. If, say, I put this, I just want to give you an idea of some of the problems here. Let's just say, for argument's sake, oh, I fucked up. No! Oh no, that was lag, sorry. I didn't fuck up. I never fuck up. Say I put the pressure plates here. And pour water here. And oh, now I fucked up. God damn it. Now that's irony for you. Do it again. There we go. Okay. Say I have it here. Well, we got the problem. It's gonna flow in all four directions, right? No problem, though. Pressure plate, pressure plate, pressure plate, pressure plate, bang, done. That's all you gotta do at the junctions. Whatever way you want it to flow, you don't put plates there, obviously. Okay, now I'm gonna knock this back out, get rid of this water. Okay, now we're gonna pour here, and we're gonna pour here. And this will flow nicely. And I need, see, I don't want to put more pressure plates here. Because one thing about the pressure plates or the signs or whatever, mobs, like I showed you earlier, they'll float onto them. A little bit of delay before they start moving again. So the more pressure plates you have in your system, or signs or whatever, it adds a few seconds each time they have to go over them. So it delays the time it takes them to get into the trap itself. So I don't want too many. I definitely don't want any at a junction. So I'm going to do that. Yeah. No problem. You know, I don't even have to do that. I can get rid of this water now. I'm actually going to put them right here. So this way we have less plates in the entire system. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, good, perfect. And that's basically how you fill the canal. You just keep adding a series of plates and water. And eventually they flow into this main channel, which takes them down into the trap. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I have to cover with this. Lag. Let me just take one last look around. No, that's about it. Okay, so now I'm going to finish these canals, and I'll show you the catwalks we dug for wiring. All the lighting is done, finally. There are 36 spawning platforms in all, and not all of them are 14 by 14, some of them are a little irregular, but that's a lot. That's a lot of lighting. 36 times 9 is 324 lights. I can't believe I made it this big, but whatevs, whatever. I do it all. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Okay. There's another way you could do this without signs or pressure plates or ladders, okay? Let's pour some water. And you actually don't even need 2 source blocks. If you put one there, it's going to flow a little bit diagonally. So they're going to be like against this block or against this block. Not a big deal, but I like to put 2 just to keep it straight. Okay. Now you could do this with the pressure plates. You could put them here to stop the water and put the next source block here. Or you do this. Oops, sorry. You do this. And you just keep going. See? It'll make it flow longer than 8 blocks. As long as it has downhill way to go, it'll just keep flowing and flowing. But the problem with that is then I have to dig this down and down and down. I really don't want to do that. Not in something this big. Maybe a smaller trap. So we're going to stick with the plates. Ooh, laggy motherfucker. Now I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna show you the wiring catwalks. There's no wiring in there yet. We've actually developed a better way to do the wiring. Originally I was gonna have a master control switch to turn off all the lights to turn them on. I think I'm gonna do it platform by platform now. So I only need to wire one switch, say in the middle of this ceiling over here. Maybe, here. And I would wire it to all of these lights with the blocks here. Or the piston would actually be, say, here. Push this block and close off the light. So the switch would be here and all the wires would go here. So I would only need maybe 25, 30 redstone per platform. That's still a lot, but it's a lot less than wiring each platform, than wiring all the platforms back to a switch over there. So this is a bit more practical than I thought it was going to be in the first place, doing it this way. But I still need to build a slime farm to get the shit to make sticky pistons, or else I'd have to use 2 pistons per light, and that's 660 something pistons. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go finish this. And here we are at the center of the world. No, the center of the trap. This is the trap. You can see all the canals, every direction, eventually come here. Now, this setup, pretty simple. I put plates here for right now, but these water streams come perfectly to the edge of the trap. They end right here on this glass, because they run 7 blocks from the source, and I purposely did this area, this water, before I did the rest of the canals to make sure of that. Though I could obviously fix it later with plates, but whatever. Now this is the drowning trap. Oh, I'm afraid of heights, bro. I didn't come up with this trap myself. Someone else did. I've improved upon it slightly, and I've added the canal system. So I've kind of made it my own. I can't remember where I got it, but it was on YouTube. So anyway, when you have water, and this is going to be filled with water right here. I took it out to demonstrate how to make this. When you have water surrounded by objects, in this case glass or stone, each type of material makes it harder. Each type of material has a different level of difficulty when it comes to trying to swim. And now you've seen how hard it is to swim in my water elevator when I'm going up in my house. Well, if water is encased by glass, it's really hard to swim up. In fact, mobs pretty much can't swim up if they've been submerged in water surrounded by glass. Now the bottom section is cobblestone, or stone. Why is that? Well, what actually happens is the glass will push them down, and then when they reach the stone or dirt, whatever section, they'll try to swim up. So they actually get caught in the middle and drown themselves. So basically this is a suicide trap. It's not a drowning trap. And it works very effectively. Once I get this to the proper length, I'm not 100% sure on this length yet, or the height yet, in terms of how far I need to make it go down. But once I get it properly set up, I think this is enough. If it's properly set up, it is 100% effective. I've never had a mob, when I have this trap set up correctly, I've never had a mob survive, and I've never had a mob drop loot and that I've not collected. That's why I like this trap. Yeah, you can make others that are just as effective, but not very many. And this one is very, very simple to make. It's just a big fucking pit with glass and stone, and that's all it is. The delivery system, however, you can make it whatever you want. This is the most efficient and effective that I've seen anywhere in Minecraft, and I don't think anyone's come up with a better delivery system. This canal system has been repeated and tweaked and done by, hundreds or thousands of people now, and it's generally accepted to be the best. The delivery system could be different. You could just have you could just not use water at all. Just let mobs fall into the trap, but not very many are going to fall in. Hence the canals. Now, when you're making this, you're very tempted to put water here. right? No, don't. Because, like any other block... Oh, lag. I'll just talk over it and hope it stops. Like any other block, when it's only one deep, not there, here, mobs can fall on that and then jump out. And that's really irritating if they jump out of that. Because they'll jump out, they'll fall back in, and it'll be like an infinite loop where nothing gets done. So you want to put it at least here, so they fall in and they can't quite get out. But I would like to put it further down, because fucking spiders and creepers have like that super jump ability, which is ridiculous. I want to put it down here, and I think that will be effective. So 4 source blocks of water. I apologize for this lag, but I don't know what's causing it. 4 source blocks, and now that they've changed color, they are all source blocks. Now, we're gonna go see the trap itself. And once it's set up, it's no danger to players. You can just jump straight down. Oh, I have sneak on. Go all the way down. Okay, now here's the beauty part of this trap. We have the water coming all the way down, and it's held up by these signs. And I like to put funny messages on the signs. And now, the cool system here is this loot collector. It's really quite simple. I dig one block back, and I place water there. So any mob, the mobs will get killed inside the trap, probably 4 or 5 blocks up from here. They'll finally die. Their loot will drop straight down, past the signs, and if you put ladders here, instead of signs, some of the loot will get stuck on the ladder. I don't know why, but you have to use signs to make this effective. The loot will fall straight down, fall into this stream, and will wash wherever you want it to. I could make this 50 blocks longer if I wanted to, with pressure plates and I would dig. You can't use pressure plates if you want to transfer items. You would get rid of these and dig one down for every 8 blocks. You could make it as long as you wanted it to. This is fun. And I'm at least 25 blocks, I think. I'll probably count later. Maybe 20 blocks from the surface. And all I do is place water here, and place water here. And now you have a loot collector. And the reason I put blocks back one, sometimes I used to have issues with having source water blocks right here. Sometimes the loot, if it would fall down like flush against this wall, sometimes it would get stuck, but that really shouldn't be a problem. You could probably put it there, but there's no reason not to put it 1 block back. And the loot's going to wash out. It's going to come and hit these plates. And all you have to do is sit AFK right here and pick up loot. And I put glass here and here as a failsafe. So if I'm sitting AFK and that one mob out of a million glitches through the trap and kills me, I lose all my loot. That sucks. Now, if you're a player or you accidentally fall in your own trap, break glass in emergency. That's it. That is the entire trap. It's really very simple. And I dug a tunnel back to my mine shafts for easy access. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, it's pretty simple, the trap. It really doesn't take much skill or effort to create. Just the delivery system is what causes the most problems and takes the most effort. Okay, so that is my trap, and now I'm going to knock out some torches on the spawning platforms and do like a test of maybe a 4th or a 5th of it. See how many mobs I get and make sure they're dying. Those are all mobs, and they're all in the trap. Holy fucktards. This is working really well. Alright, Alright, so it's been about a week since I've gotten this trap running. It works nicely. However, I run into several tiny problems. One was that there's so much water in there, squid spawn, and I would stand here to collect the loot and a squid would come down and a bunch of them would push me over here, or wherever, so I couldn't collect the loot anymore. So we made some improvements. Um, Nothing special. What I did was I put a little room here first with a door, but I was still getting pushed to either side and I wasn't getting all the loot. So what I did was I made a diagonal stream. I took one source block of water away right there, and I left one there. So all the loot flows to this side, and I dug myself a little pit. So even if the squid come in, they can't push me anywhere. I'll just be stuck here, and all the loot drops right into this block here. Works nicely. Very cool. And this is the storage room where I have all the loot. Yeah, that's a lot of loot. This is about 300 TNT worth of gunpowder. Tons of arrows, tons of bones. I got some ink sacs from squid. And I didn't get too much string because all the spiders are climbing around like a bunch of faggots. When this is full, I'm going to stack a chest on top of it. Eventually I'll probably just get rid of the feathers because I can't really see too much of a use for them. String, on the other hand, I can make dispensers with bows. That's good. Arrows, obviously useful. Gunpowder, very useful. Bones, somewhat useful because I'm going to probably make underground tree farms and that'll be useful. Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with how this trap turned out. But after I finished the trap, I came up, like immediately after I finished the trap, I came up with like 2 or 3 improvements that I really should have done. And not only that, I've come up with, well, the things I've learned from making this trap. Let's talk about that. Number 1, this is just way too big. Okay, 96 by 96 was way too big. Not all the mobs that are spawning are eventually getting to the trap. They're despawning along the way. It takes so long to get them to the center. So 96 by 96, after a certain point in terms of space, you get diminishing returns. So I'm not quite sure how big that should be, but I think if I had to make it again, I'd probably do it 64 by 64. That probably is a good number. I'm really not quite sure. I'll probably have to do some math on that. Secondly, to make the trap more efficient, I would change 2 things in the future. One, the killing mechanism, because from what I've learned even in the past couple weeks, I've made this type of trap, this drowning trap, somewhat obsolete. There is a better way to kill the mobs and collect their loot. And it also kills them much faster, so they respawn faster, thus making it significantly more efficient. And that is with the lava blade, which I will show you when I get the Coliseum mob evader done, which you'll probably see in an upcoming episode, which is going to be really cool. I don't want to give it away quite yet, but we are building a Roman style Coliseum. Very cool. Secondly, what I've thought of, instead of having just one killing area, one kill box, say in the middle of the trap, I think it would be more efficient to have multiple kill boxes, say 4 of them, and spaced out towards the center. So 4 of these shafts basically, or whatever killing mechanism I want. Basically 4 places to kill the mobs, in other words. And in all 4 places I would dig canals to underneath to make the loot all come to a central collection point. That way I kill mobs much faster and more respawns. Pretty cool. I think that'll be for my next trap if I ever make one. So those are the things I've learned from this trap besides the whole squid issue. My next killing mechanism with the lava blade should take care of the squid, no problem. So yeah, that is what I have learned from doing all this. Oh, was this a major project? And I'm kind of sad that I came up with ways to improve it right after it was done, but that's the way of things, right? You make things and you learn. Now, that's it for the mob trap. I don't think there's anything else to say, so I'm going to end episode 4, or is this 5? This is episode 5. I'm going to end episode 5 here with this little item I've created. It is a trash disposal unit. Now, somebody walked up to this earlier and said, "Hey, what the hell? There's no place for the trash to go. This is a lie. It's a lie." And I promptly showed them by doing this. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. Lever activates a piston, which drops it and the item into lava. Wiring is very simple. Here's the piston. And the lever is here. The redstone runs down into this torch, which inverts it. So the piston's always on until I hit the lever, which turns it off. Very simple, very effective, very cool. Alright, so in episode 6, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might show you guys the secondary base that I've been creating in episode 6. I think I'm going to do that. And then maybe episode 7 will be a tips and tricks video on all the little things that you could do, you know, short clips about how to improve your Minecrafting and whatnot. So, but anyway, this is getting long, so I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you in episode 6.